Ruckers, welcome to your number one rugby podcast. It's time to strap yourself up. Okay, it's seatbelt time because I'm Johan de Jong and next to me is the one and only...
Hey, it's the friendly neighborhood referee, Mr. Rudy Pipes over here.
Hey, partner, how are you?
I'm good, Boykie. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, eh? Fantastic. Looking forward to a fantastic episode,
Oh, this is big. Big.
It's massive, eh?
Yeah. Massive in the sense of a great episode and literally massive because our guest...
It's massive. Okay, but we'll get there. How are you? How was the weekend? Been good? Oh, yeah, we've been together this whole weekend,
I've been seeing it way too much. I see this guy's face the whole week, every weekends. But partner, great weekend on the whistle again this weekend. I did 2 games.
Yes, growing.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's really nice. A lot of learning still, buddy. It's only my 5th game that I did.
Yes.
So it's still very new. And then obviously the 2 of us, we went down to Mossel Bay.
A garden route.
Hey,
we love a garden route now, eh?
So that was brilliant.
It's been time. We need to go back to garden route. Omasari, we're coming, okay? Keep the coffee ready. Omasari. I love a garden route, eh? Like to bring me out. Mossel Bay it was, eh?
Yeah, lovely evening spent at Saubra secondary school. We obviously did the jersey presentation, me and my partner, guys, Ruckers.
Yeah.
It was just so nice to spend with the team.
Yes.
To make them, the messages we gave obviously was important.
Get them excited for the season ahead. Yeah.
And just to see how people are passionate about the game, man.
Yeah.
I think that is what stood out to me on the past weekend. But a great opportunity for Behind the Ruck.
Behind the Ruck, yeah, to go out there. Obviously, they're expecting a Colby or a Mpimpi, but we nice
was
guys.
Was it
iets
gelost? Ja, come on, boy,
yeah, but that was fantastic. Just to go out there and, share our knowledge, share our experiences. Hopefully, we can leave something that they can pick up.
Yes.
And keep cracking on forward and become, wear the green and gold.
Yeah, and it will be always awesome if, especially not the biggest schools, not the great colleges, and not the poor. I mean, we do have gems and diamonds in the smaller schools, and hopefully there can be some guy that will play Craven Week and maybe get higher honors even after this.
Yes, and then Sunday we got to spice it up. We had a nice coffee at Mossel Bay.
Do you want to talk about it?
Let's leave that.
Okay.
Okay, you on a high, the billa is up and running, you up and running.
Yes.
Let's leave that. But before we crack on, we talk to my people, your people, and our people. Okay, guys? Behind the Ruck is powered by Kruger International. Okay? Asset and Wealth Management. Go check out the website. Okay? Make sure you go there because they can do for you what they've done for us. Yes. And that is very important. And also, Behind the Ruck is also our official betting partner.
Yes.
Lulabet in the building.
Yep.
Yes. Go check them out, guys. They're doing fantastic work for us and they're supporting us, and that's important.
Yeah, obviously, 2 fantastic people in our corner, guys. So it's on our website as well.
Yep.
The links to their websites. Please go and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Go into Lulabet's social media pages. Go see. Maybe there's some luck for you somewhere there.
You never know. And we've been away for 2 weeks now. We've been to Loftus, we've been to Ellis Park, but now we're comfortable in the
straat, meneer.
Yes, it's time to strap up in the IOK studios.
Yes.
Okay, starts here. You haven't checked if I'm okay after Loftus, but it's fine. It's fine. You're flying high, let you fly high. It's still a long season.
Listen here, buddy, I'm not going to check. Ruckus, I'm not going to ask him how he's doing, okay?
Man,
he was obviously very loud, very proud when he was drinking 7-ups. And I don't know what else he was throwing into my face. So for the next few weeks, I'm going to enjoy the bragging rights. Luckily, there's still no URC games. So the Bulls are still all over the social media. We are still proud and loud. We are loud, Ruckus.
I said seatbelt, strap yourself.
Okay, my bad.
Partner, talk to me. Lineup, I want to know because we're talking about massive, big. Let's talk.
Ruckus, today the lineup is simple. The lineup is actually big, figuratively this time.
Yes.
Guys, we have an NFL player on Behind the Ruck. And if you guys are wondering, what is NFL? As American football, they have Super Bowls. They got 32 teams. We have the first, he's a South African playing in the NFL.
Ooh.
He is big. He is 145 kgs. His length is 1.93 centimeters.
Wow, that's massive.
Yes, Dieter Eiselen. How they say in America.
Dieter Eiselen.
Dieter Eiselen.
Drykers Duplessis, Dieter Eiselen. But yeah, fantastic.
So partner, Ruckus, he plays for the Houston Texans. He's guard, he's a blocker. He is really, for me, he's a trendsetter.
Yeah.
I am totally excited. I'm excited. A fanboy to meet him.
Yeah, you like your
to
NFL,
talk with him. I love NFL, partner. I think it's an excellent sport. And for South African to play in that league, to be a professional in that league, is absolutely amazing,
It's
buddy.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things to check. Obviously, we've got rugby players that's moving into that league. Reece Emmett, Christian Wade, all these boys are flying over now. So we need to ask a couple of things.
Ons moet voor mense bly.
Yes.
Verstaan jy?
Yes.
Ons kan klaar sien in die future. Hey, NFL rugby play. Ons bly voor
I say,
almal.
we are behind the ruck, but sometimes we want to be in front of the
offside.
ruck. Okay.
And then Ruckers also, we have to discuss the Six Nations. Okay, partner.
yes.
There was
Ooh.
some upsets.
Yo,
there
yo.
was some drama. So we have to go into that this past weekend.
100%, we gotta
and
cover
then
that, yeah.
also the last weekend of Six Nations. There will be Six Nations fixtures discussed by these two.
Yes.
Okay. There is some...
It's close. It's close.
It's too close.
It's a rat race now.
It's too close for comfort. Okay? So we're going to discuss the Six Nations fixtures. We're going to go into our Lulabet predictions of the week.
Hey, it's
we're going
crucial.
to try and see if we can get close to which teams are going to win and by how much. And partner, I think yet again, that's an exciting lineup for us.
Very exciting, yeah. Let's get to the big man, eh? Let's go to United States of America.
Okay, rah.
Yes.
Are you ready to rah, rah, rah?
I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
ready. Okay. Up next,
Dieter. Partner,
Ooh, hey, huh? Something new, something different. We're spicing it up. Hey?
I always tell the Ruckers we're a big deal, okay?
Hey, stop that.
Yes.
Seatbelt, come on.
No worries. Dieter, welcome to Behind the Ruck,
Yes, welcome.
which is a rugby podcast. Ruckers, we have an NFL player in the building.
Yes, so.
You guys don't know it yet, but this is massive. Okay, Dieter,
Welcome,
welcome.
yeah,
And
welcome.
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on. I really, really appreciate it. You know, I've been watching the podcast a little bit, and it's an honor to be here with you guys.
So I would want to know, is it Dieter or Dieter?
En Engels, Amerikaanse Engels, Dieter Eiselen, maar
Dieter-
Afrikaans Dieter Eiselen.
I like that.
So
Dieter.
Stellenbosch,
Dieter.
Afrikaans,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Iceland.
I like Dieter.
Like Dieter. Are we going to call him Dieter?
Dieter, yeah.
Okay.
Drickish, Duplessis, Drakish.
Ruckers, so for the rest of this interview, it will be Dieter, okay?
Here we go. It's awesome.
Dieter, obviously, first of all, before we get into your story, in South Africa, NFL player currently living in the United States. I'm assuming on holiday.
Yeah, it's the off season for us now a little bit. So back here with the family, you know, just spending some time with them, getting the golf rounds in. So
Yeah.
focusing on that. Still doing the training in the morning, but definitely maximizing the off season right now.
Yeah. 4 weeks is it, eh? Just
So we start back up in April 15th. That's when the voluntary off-season program starts. But our season ended in January. So
Yes, so like a long off. That's a nice break.
yeah. So you want to make the most of it because time flies.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if you let it go by, it'll go by for sure.
Yes. And handicap, before we get in, quickly give me your handicap.
12.
12.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
for big man, 145
Must
kgs.
hit a long ball. I'm assuming he's hitting a long ball, partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is just when it goes 100 yards out of bounds when I don't want it to go. You know, I can hit the ball, but I've just been swinging at 80%, you know, take the Ernie Els approach, you know, just
Yeah.
nice
and
smooth swing
easy.
and just put the ball where you want it to go. So we're never as good as we want to be in golf, unfortunately. That's
Yeah.
always the case. So.
Tell me about it, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, we must enjoy it, boys.
Yes.
Okay, we're not professional golfers.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Because at our level, it's Shashin Tendulkar, Andre Centurions all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. So excited to be back in Stellenbosch. Obviously, a place where you grew up. Talk me through your journey growing up in South Africa, moving over.
Yeah, so I was born in Pretoria and then I moved down to Stellenbosch. I went to Paul Rus
yeah.
Gymnasium.
My valley.
You know, and you know, I played rugby as my dream, just like every other boykie to play for the Springboks. You know, that was my
Yeah.
dream. So, really enjoyed rugby a lot growing up. I was playing blow billikie, you know.
Hey,
So-
don't do that. Don't do that to me. Come on, Stormers.
growing up in Pretoria, so you know, watching Bakkies Botha and Victor Matfield
Yeah.
and all those guys were my heroes, you know. So, but yeah, I just started watching American football when I was 16. My rugby career really wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. You know, I was envisioning Craven Week and, you know, contract and blah, 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 but it just wasn't happening for me. You know, I wasn't playing well enough to make it as a rugby player. And yeah, I just started casually watching American football when I was 16 and really just fell in love with the sport. I would, you know, download games every week just because, you know, the coverage here was Super Sport and everything wasn't that great.
Yes.
But I would download the primetime games, like one NFL game, one college game a week, and watch it at home. And I just really fell in love with the sport. So yeah, when it came time to matriculate and apply for university and everything, there wasn't really like a course of study that I really wanted to do. You know, I was looking at sports science and stuff like that, but I was just looking down the road, you know, like, is this really what I want to do with my life? You know, is this really attaining what I want from my dreams? And the answer was no, you know.
Yeah.
So halfway through my matric year at powerhouse, I went to a camp in the U.S. just by myself, flew with a plane, and that was my first time, you know, experiencing football. First time putting on a helmet, first time putting on the pads and playing with local high schoolers and everything. And I had a lot of fun, had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
That's the best part.
Yeah. You gotta test it. You gotta find things out.
Yeah, but just a bunch of car crashes, you know, in there. But it was fun, and I just, you know, I knew that this was the sport for me. So,
and talk me about powerhouse, especially powerhouse is one of the best rugby schools in South Africa. And like you growing up in through powerhouse, and you see these guys, they're playing all Kramer week. And what year did you finish?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's probably a couple of guys that's playing for the Springboks at the moment.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is. What was your thought like in terms of just look at these guys, but I want to do this, but I don't have talent, but looking at something else?
Yeah, it was a lot of doubt at the beginning point. You know, it's a little bit of a crazy dream. You know, when I told my parents that this is what I want to go do, they looked at me a little sideways.
Yeah.
You know, but
We all get
what
that.
is this thing?
yeah, because they, you know, I played with guys like Herschel Yankees and
Herschel
Edward van der
Yankees,
Merwe.
yeah.
They were in the same class that I was in. And when I was in grade 8, Steven Kutsoff was matric, you know,
Yeah.
so I looked at him like, you know, so, but yeah, those guys, you know, I wanted to be like them, but it just wasn't possible for me. But again, when I told my mom, like, I want to go to America, I want to pursue American football, you know, she looked at me sideways a little bit, but once she could see how much it meant to me and how invested I was in it and how much research I had done, she was behind me.
So you were fully invested into American football. Like you knew exactly what the guard position that you're currently playing.
Yeah.
But obviously the first time you got there, it must have been a clueless,
Shock to the system.
Yeah. Because football, you know, I think that rugby's very complicated as well, but football is very complicated. You know, once they hand you a playbook, you know, there's a lot more room for improvisation in rugby than there is in football. Like in football, everybody's got a specific job on every single play that they have to accomplish. So my head was spinning a little bit when I got there. So I applied to do a postgraduate year at one of the prep schools in New England. And that was kind of like my way to try and get recruited to play college football, because my dream was to get a scholarship offer to play college football somewhere. And yeah, I was lucky enough to get into a good school and get good financial aid. And I picked the program. The school's name was Choate Rosemary Hall. And I picked it because it was a really, really good program. And this coach believed in me, you know, and they went undefeated for like 3 years before I got there. And it was just the best situation for me. So I matriculated powerhouse in 2014. And then I went over in April of 2015.
Just you alone.
Just me alone, yeah. And my coach, you know, who's so great, I still have a great relationship with him. I still talk to him. He set me up with a host family who lived in Connecticut. And both their sons had gone to the school. So I stayed with them. They took me in. And the school year is only going to start in August of 2015.
Yes.
But I was like, I'm going to go over and I'm going to prepare myself, you know, learn the sport better and train physically and get myself ready, you know. So I had a really great time. I'm so grateful towards that family, the Piscatelli family. I'm still, again, have a great relationship with them, still see them regularly. But yeah, I trained hard, and then that summer, my coach sent me to a bunch of summer camps, because in America you do like these college recruiting camps. And the first one that I went to was Boston College in Massachusetts. And it's a big school. It was a really hard camp, you know, when I got there. It was for 3 days, and we did 3 a days for 3 days.
That's 3 training sessions, Ruckus. 3 training sessions in 1 day.
Yeah, morning, afternoon, and night. So I was like, okay, you know.
Am I sure about this?
Gaat nou weer.
Ja, ek is bietjie moeg gewees, jy weet. Maar So that camp ended on Friday, and then Saturday morning I wake up to a text from this coach from Choate Rosemary Hall. Coach Spinata was his name. And he tells me, you're going to go to the Yale camp on Sunday. And my first thought was, ja, ek weet nie of ek dit kan doen nie. Jy weet, ek is moeg. Ek is moeg, maar he made me go to the camp, and I don't know if it was because I was, angry that he made me go, but I, tested really well. We did one-on-ones. I was taking it out on all the other kids over there. I did well at the camp. And Coach Tony Reno, who's still the head coach at Yale University, he motions for me to come over. And I think that, he's going to give me some advice. Once I start playing the season, he's going to give me, pointers, like maybe we'll offer you if you get some tape up. But they offered me there before I played, that day at the camp. So that was like a dream.
That's insane. Man.
That just happened like that,
Slow down. Was this before you started playing?
Before I played in a game, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Wait. ESPN Prime videos, whoever is watching Behind the Ruck, this is a movie.
Yeah, this is a movie.
Okay.
Yes, like Blindside and all those
Yeah.
things. Yes. Oh,
Mnet 8 o'clock Sunday evening.
Yes.
I can see it.
Yeah.
after chasing the sun. Anyway.
Yeah. So me and the coach,
Yeah.
we drove back to the host family, and we were just laughing the whole way, like we had just robbed a bank or something,
Yeah.
because we couldn't believe it, and I just committed a week later to Yale University, and I couldn't have been happier, so I was just happy that I had something to show for my dream, and
yeah.
that it finally paid off.
Yeah, and the phone call to your parents.
Yeah.
Ma en pa, hoe dit gegaan? What
They
was
couldn't
happening?
believe it, They could not believe it at all because, Yale University, you think, this is one of the best universities in the whole world, and I would never have gotten in there without American football. So I owe so much to the sport. Without the sport, I would not have made my degree there, got my degree there. So, but the host family, when I called them and told them, they were like, maybe he's confused, maybe he's not sure, but when they find out it was actually happened and they offered me, they were so happy for me.
Wow.
So,
And then the pressure from Yale College, because college football is next level. It's almost like it's like a URC or Super Rugby. Like the crowd comes out and it's massive.
Yeah.
How's that experience?
It was great. It was great. Yale pushed me a lot, because it's hard. Yale's a really academically rigorous school, and time management was big. I became really disciplined with my time and, just how to function when you're not 100% rested. When you're tired, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I owe a lot to that university, and, I had a great time there. My first season there, I was playing and I was learning the sport because I originally played defensive line at Choate.
Oh,
so I didn't even play offensive line. So, but the coach who recruited me was offensive line. And my first fall camp at Yale, he's like, "You're playing offensive line." I'm like, "Yes, sir."
No clue, I'm going.
And he was a really, really good coach. I, owe a lot to him because his standards for technique and everything was so high. So he taught me a lot. And I had to learn and adapt very, very quickly because, nothing but perfect was acceptable. So,
And just on the adaptation you're talking about, was it tough for you to adapt to American football, or did it happen quickly and you just fit it quite in easily?
No, it definitely took a little bit of adaptation because defensive line is a little bit easier to play than offensive line is because defensive line, it's more individualistic and you're just trying to go after the ball, whether that's with the running back who's trying to run the ball or the quarterback who's trying to pass. So you're just trying to get the ball. It's much more of a reactionary position than offensive line is. Offensive line, you're playing with the four other guys next to you. So everybody has to be on the same page in order to execute everything. But from the fourth game of my freshman year, I became the starter at left guard, and then I was the starter for the rest of my career there. And I owe it all to that coach who believed in me and taught me everything that I knew about offensive line at that point. Yeah.
My knowledge is not that good. It's offensive line, it's defensive line. It's
nie mol.
Yeah.
It's like
So it's two teams.
Yeah.
How many is in a squad? Explain to us how does it work?
Yeah.
And just a little bit of info around NFL.
So at any one time on the field, there's 11 guys on offense and 11 guys on defense. So, and then there's a lot of rotations with like special teams. There's punt and kickoff return and field goal and all these kinds of things. So a lot of guys rotate into those different things. But on offense, there are 11 guys on the field at one time. And 5 of those 11 guys are what we call the offensive line. And they're on the field at all times when the offense is. And their main job is to protect the quarterback and to protect the running back. So whenever the ball is being run, to create the running lanes for the running back so that he can gain as many yards as possible. And when the quarterback passes the ball, to protect him in pass protection so that he can get the ball downfield wherever that is. So,
Pari, so very important.
Very important.
yeah.
I protect the Goesie.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, Justin Fields, all of those boys need to stay safe. Okay.
And your position, it's offensive line, which is?
So ek speel spesifiek guard en center.
Center?
So, ja.
Is die hulp vir my?
Ja, John, kom, jy moet speel, jong. Jy vat ook net die bal so tussen jou bene en dan, jy weet, dis maklik, is precies hetzelfde.
So that's a tough position actually, because you have to, they call it snap to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So you get normal snap, you get long snap for the kickers as well.
Yeah.
Is it a tough?
It's a tough position because like I said, I just played guard when I was in college. And then when I got to the NFL, I learned to play center, which is a very intellectual, nuanced position too, because in the NFL's offensive schemes, the center is responsible for making sure that everybody's on the right page, especially when it comes to the run game. So he's responsible for identifying the mic or the point, which is in all the different schemes that we have, that's how everybody knows who they're going to, you know, so you have to be right, you know, and there's lots of schemes, lots of variations of schemes, and then the defense has lots of different schemes too. So you try to get a beat on what they're doing by studying, because the game plan changes every single week because defenses aren't the same every week in the NFL. So it's a very intellectual position, but I do like it a lot. But it is hard, you know. When I first started snapping, you know, it's nice and easy when you're just snapping by yourself. I, you know, trained by myself a little quarterback net and I would practice snaps. But it's a little bit different when you've got a guy who's, you know, 6'5", 350 pounds across from you, and he's trying to run through you, you know. So all those live reps in practice and in games helped a lot to be able to do that. So,
and then obviously Yale played Yale now, and then the draft happened. And talk me through that process. How does the draft first of all work?
Yeah.
And then how did you end up obviously undrafted player, and how your process worked to getting to the Chicago Bears?
Yeah. So for me, you know, I wasn't even thinking about the NFL when I was at Yale. You know, I was like, oh, like I'm not good enough to make it. You know, I don't think I can do it. But then after my third year, you know, I started getting calls from agencies, and they're like, oh, we're interested in representing you. Like, we think you have what it takes. And I started getting on like All-American lists for the like FCS, our division and everything. And I was like, maybe I've got a chance to do it, you know? So my last year, my senior year, I dedicated myself to that. You know, like I want to make it to the NFL. I was lucky enough to get selected for the All-Star game, the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl that's in the Rose Bowl in California.
Yeah.
And that was my first time in California, and the Rose Bowl is a very historic, you know, stadium. It's beautiful. And that was my first time around other guys who were also like NFL ready. And we played in a little All-Star game with NFL coaches and everything. So that was my first experience. And I felt good about it, you know. But then when the NFL draft happened, that was during COVID and everything. So everything was virtual. You know, all I wanted was for my name to get called. So the NFL draft has got about 256 picks, and there are 7 rounds. So the higher you're picked, you know, obviously those are like the marquee players, the big players you play at, like Alabama and Georgia, Notre Dame, all those top schools, you know. And there are some guys from smaller schools, but I knew that I wasn't going to be that. You know, I only started playing when I was 19, you know. I was a little bit of a different story. So I was hoping to sneak into the later rounds. And then, unfortunately, my name didn't get called, and that was very disappointing for me. But as soon as the draft ended, my agent called me and said that there's an opportunity to go to the Chicago Bears as an undrafted free agent. So I was happy that I got that opportunity, and I was just going to make the most of it.
Cheers, eh?
And when you say undrafted free agent, does that just mean you're going there on let's use for corporate sake, as internship? Or you still get paid going there to the Chicago Bears? Hoe werk die dingetjie?
So jy teken nog steeds 'n kontrak, jy weet. So dit is nie jy teken nog steeds 'n kontrak, maar dit is minder geld soos wat die ander ouens maak, jy weet. As jy nou, because first round draft picks, you know, I mean, it's big money.
It's zeros,
you know?
zeros.
Four-year contracts. Some of these contracts in the top 10 picks can be $35-40 million
a year
for over those 4 years. So, and it's all given up in a signing bonus up front. So it's one big paycheck up front, you know.
Just check there, Patrick
Mahomes. I want to use my calculator quickly.
How the exchange rate, jy weet, also die wisselkoers gou kyk met die rand en die dollars.
NFL, one of the wealthiest leagues in the world. Massive Super Bowl celebrities running everywhere. And it's also like rugby also starting to grow in America. We got the Rugby World Cup in 2031 there as well. What is the differences in terms of the Major League Rugby and the NFL? Is it big? Is it growing, the rugby?
I think the rugby's growing, but it's got a long way to go to catch up to the NFL, you know, because the NFL that's like tippity top of sports leagues in America. You know, it's ingrained in the culture there. And, you know, it's the most watched event on TV by far. You know, I saw like a thing at like top 20, you know, most watched things like last year. You know, it's like State of the Union, Joe Biden is like number 8. You know, and then top 20, everything else is NFL, 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 you know. So it's like hundreds of millions of people watch the sport, you know. So, but I think that the MLR can do really, really well. You know, I think that the sport can grow a lot there. There's a lot of Americans who want to partake in rugby. So, yeah.
And would that be, look, I don't know a lot currently about the American rugby. If we quickly talk about that. Will that be a lot of guys that fall out at college level that try and have a go at rugby?
Yeah, for sure. I have a few teammates who played at Yale they play like club rugby and stuff like that. They haven't made it all the way to MLR, but it's similar, you know, they like the physical battle of rugby, you know, because that's where they get that outlet, like to be on a team and be involved in a contact sport, you know, so try and get that same fulfillment that they would in American football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so. And we have obviously there's a lot of South Africans in that MLR. We had Kurt Coleman here a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
And that is massive. So just explain to us NFL in terms of how does the season work, how many teams, what's happening, because it's a lot of teams, like 32 teams into 2 different categories, AFL and
AFC,
NFC,
NFC. And how many games is it, and how does the playoffs and stuff work to get to the Super Bowl, the main league?
Yeah, so the NFL is essentially comprised of 32 teams, and just like you said, they're split into 2 divisions or conferences, the NFC and the AFC, and then each of those are split into 4 more. So it's 4 teams of 4 in each little thing, and it's like AFC, North, South, East, and West, you know, and then you try to win your division to give yourself a chance to make it to the NFL playoffs. So the regular season itself is 18 weeks long from September to January. And then you have 1 bye week that's in there somewhere. It's randomly determined by the schedulers. But essentially, if you win your division, then you give yourself a chance to make it to the NFL playoffs. So the first round of the playoffs after the regular season is the wild card round. Then it's the divisional round. Then it's the conference championship. Then it's the Super Bowl. So that's how it's like split
in and
up.
week out. No breaks.
Yeah. Well, so if you do really, really well, like there are teams that, like, if they win the division and they are at the top of the conference, they have like a bye week. So they don't even play in the wild card. The first game would be the divisional round. And if you make it to the divisional round into the conference champion, you win the conference, then there's 2 weeks before the Super Bowl is played. So you have more time to prepare for your opponent.
Yeah.
And on that, I want you to tell us exactly how did it feel, first of all, 2-pronged question. How did it first of all feel when you played for the Chicago Bears? Because I could only imagine your first time being on the roster, activated to play for the Chicago Bears, making your debut in the NFL from South Africa. How did that feel? What was going through your mind? What was the experience?
Dit was net 'n droom, jy weet, regtig. I didn't think that when I first started the dream when I was 16, you know, I'm going to make it to the NFL. You know, there's like small chance away that's a dream in La La Land, you know. But when I got activated my rookie year, the first time that I played was against the Tennessee Titans in Nashville in Tennessee. And to put on a Chicago Bears uniform, to put on an NFL uniform and be in that game, you know, it meant everything to me. You know, it justified all the work that I had done to that point. Sacrifice that I made, you know, all the doubt that I had, because before I went over, you know, I doubted myself, you know, from when I matriculated to April when I first went over, because all my friends went over to university, they started university, and I was just thinking in the back of my head, you know, isn't that what I should be doing? Am I really just crazy for trying to do this, you know, because I had no assurances that I was going to succeed, but in that moment, you know, it was just, my dreams came true, you know, so, and then from there on, that goal is achieved, and then it's on to the next goal. So that's kind of how my mind is wired, is just to keep on improving and always moving forward.
Just so what a tough sport.
And how long did you play for the Bears?
So I was in Chicago for 3 years. So my undrafted free agent contract was for 3 years, from 20 to 22. And then once I was done with the Bears, I signed with the Houston Texans. So I was there most recently this past season, and then at the end of February this year, I re-signed for 2 more years with the Texans.
So is that this upcoming season and another season?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that is awesome, man.
Yeah.
And then, partner, sorry, I apologize.
You crack on.
Eager Beaver.
Yeah,
Eager
yeah,
Beaver.
I can see you excited here.
You played with two of, at the moment, who is some young, awesome quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
And Ruckers, Justin Fields for the Chicago Bears, and then the Rookie of the Year this past season, CJ Stroud. Quickly tell us, is the differences between the two, and how was it playing with especially CJ Stroud this year with the success you guys had as a team?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, obviously Justin, he was first round quarterback drafted, amazing athlete. You know, he can throw the ball, sling it, and he can run like a Springbok, you know, like when he decides to scramble, you know, when he's freelancing and just being an athlete out there, he makes guys look silly, you know, because he's so fast. He's a big guy too, but he can run like a gazelle. And then when I got to play with CJ this past year, I mean, I don't think I've ever played with a rookie as impressive as him. You know, the way that he can throw the ball when he's on the move is incredibly accurate. You know, he is so in command and a genuine, authentic leader too. So I have a lot of respect for him. And this past year that he had, you know, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the year that we had was awesome. And I think that this is just the first step for him. He's going to play for a long time. And I'm happy to be back in Houston with him, because we're trying to win everything, you know. So,
how old is he? Is he youngster?
Ja, jong. Je weet,
20's,
makkelijk 20, 21, jong.
En hij
alles voor hem.
hij wint uit.
Yeah.
Is it? Zeros. Dieter, as you can see, this guy, he likes his NFL matches, but I like my NFL movies. You draft days, you Jerry Maguire's. But there's also a movie called Cousin, Will Smith. Just talk us about play protection, especially in the game. How's that's been as well? Because if you see, if the people, our ruckers, our viewers, if they look at the TV, they'll be like, yes, that's massive hits. Is it safe enough? What is that process with you guys? Because we've, especially in rugby as well now, we've got a massive, you know, protecting our players. How's it in the NFL?
Yeah, the league is always trying to make the sport safer with us, with rule changes and, you know, advancements in equipment and things. But it is football is not a contact sport. It's a collision sport. You know, like especially my job up front.
Yeah.
You know, we're the point of attack. You're going full speed against other gigantic human beings, you know, and the forces that are generated there between the guys, it's a lot of big contact. But, you know, you try to do everything that you can to protect yourself with good technique and understanding the scheme really well, so that you're not put in positions where you can hurt yourself or get injured. You know, the injury rate in American football is 100%. You know, you're going to get hurt. Like, no matter what, you're going to have to learn how to play with injuries. You know, I have done that myself too, but yeah, you try to protect yourself by building up your armor, your body, through training and also hardening your body through practice and training camp. So, but it's a collision sport, but we like the collision,
Yeah, I can see nice smile. He talks about collision, he starts smiling. Okay.
Yeah, contact sport is ballet and those type of things. Yeah.
Check yourself, meneer. A few last ones before we end, Dieter. Living in America, I'm not talking about the NFL star. I'm just talking about
going to Vegas, going to Miami, New York,
Manhattan.
Yes.
What's it like living in America, Texas, especially now, compared to a Stellies or Cape Town? What's the big differences?
Yeah, it's crazy, because every little state in New York is like its own little country. So it's very, very different. Having seen New York City and Chicago and Texas, they're all so different from each other. New York City, you can do anything that you can think of, and there's these gigantic skyscrapers everywhere and all these people. Chicago is beautiful on the lake, also gigantic skyscrapers. Texas, is a beautiful state. It's kind of reminds me of here. Texas is a little bit more like home. It's bietjie meer soos die platteland.
Okay.
But yeah, I love America. I love living there. I think that I'll probably start my family there and be there. I love coming back home. I love visiting my family here and, seeing beautiful Stellenbosch, beautiful mountains and vineyards and Cape Town with all the beaches and the mountains again, but yeah, I love the States. It's a wonderful place to be, and I can't wait to go back again.
Awesome. Your biltong. Sorry, Rakus. Do you make your own biltong? Do you import your biltong, your droewors?
Ek wil graag, my eie biltong maak, want ek het al probeer daarso. Daar's 'n paar expats wat daai kant is, maar dis nie dieselfde nie. Hulle kom in so, vacuum sealed pakkies en so aan, maar is nie dieselfde nie, want ek hou van my biltong gekerf daai dag van die butcher af, so fyn gekerf dat hy so lekker nat biltong is. Maar daarso mens kry dit nie, so ek vat maar vir my hierso van die slagter wat ek hierso ken, vat ek my pakkies hierso in my tas wat incheck en hopelik keer hulle nie vir my daarso by die border nie, so. Maar ja, dis net bloot nie dieselfde nie, so ek I definitely take advantage of it when I'm here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, before we finish off, our Rakus wants to know you a little bit better. I've got this or that questions for the big man. Yeah, we're going to know what's happening.
Love it.
Get to know the big man. So you just got to pick one. Okay, so first one, the toughest game. Is it NFL or is it rugby?
Ek love it.
Ek gaan baie mense verloor hierso as ek verkeerde kant toe gaan. Maar I played both, Rugby is definitely hard, I can't weigh how much I'm weighing. I weigh 145 kilograms. I can play 145 kilogram rugby. I'd only play 15 minutes and then I'd be out.
Yeah.
So rugby is definitely harder in that sense, just because of the cardiovascular, aspect of it and how fit you have to be and keep going for full 80 minutes. But collision, American football wins with hard collisions for sure.
So let's call it 50-50.
Yeah, it's 50-50 also.
50-50. Second one, obviously, as a center, you snapping it. Would you want to snap it with Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes?
I got to go with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, the GOAT.
He's retired now, but, there's never been a better player in our league than that guy. Nobody's won more than that guy. But Patrick Mahomes he's on that path right now. So,
yes, he's fast on that path.
Very, very fast. Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Okay, let's go. Okay, moving quickly to food. Okay, braai or barbecue. Is it a Cape Town braai or your barbecue?
Ja, braai verseker.
Braai verseker.
Daar's nie eens twyfel in my kop.
Yeah. Lamb choppie dit is. Lamb choppie dit is.
And then we want to know, is it summer in Camps Bay or is it going to be summer in Miami?
Yeah, ek vat maar Camps Bay ook. Yeah, Miami is a little chaotic. I'm more an introvert person. There's too many neon-colored cars in Miami, so
Camps Bay for the win. Yeah,
Camps Bay, 100%.
We want to go to the World Cup in 2031.
Yes.
We go to him. He takes us to Miami.
Ja.
So they Miami too.
Misschien.
Okay.
Ons gaan naar South Beach toe, dis right.
And listen, it gets a little bit trickier. Okay, playing for the Springboks or playing in a Super Bowl. Oef.
Jy weet, as ek 'n kind is, definitief vir die Springbokke, jy weet, maar nou verseker
Super Bowl.
To make it to a Super Bowl.
Ja,
100%.
dat
Dit sal die droom wees. En ons hierdie span, ons Houston Texans, ons kan dit maak, so te verseker. Ja.
Ruckers, I'm quickly going to put him on the spot. If the Texans get to the Super Bowl next year, he's going to send us 2 tickets.
Ja.
Hey,
Ek kry 2 kaartjies, is reg.
he didn't even say please.
Sorry. I just wanted to get it on tape ASAP.
Ek kry 2 kaartjies en dan wanneer jy in die Super Bowl is, kry jy meer kaartjies. So verseker, daar's 2
fantastic.
kaartjies met julle name op. hoor.
Shorty man uit, shorty
Mama, I
man.
made it. Mama,
Okay.
I made it.
Last few, a couple more. Okay, if you buy a car, okay, you guys got the zeros in that paycheck. Is it the Lamborghini or the Cadillac, the SUVs? Do you like
Jy weet, ek
roll it?
nie een van die 2 nie. Ek vat 'n F150, dis wat ek ry.
Yes, it's good.
'n bakkie, daai lekker
Is it?
bakkies. Dis beter as die Hilux bakkies wat
Ja.
hier so is, jy weet. So,
Okay.
dis 'n
Ja, Jesus.
groot goed met so, jy weet, die trappie wat jy so
Ja.
in die sitplek
So,
in moet kom.
dis soos 'n
groot
lorry
trappie.
vir my.
Dis soos 'n lorry.
Ja, het gaat soos 'n lorry wees vir my. Okay.
Yeah, imagine Dieter in a Lamborghini, getting in and out. That's
Nee,
tough.
nee.
That's tough, yeah.
Dis lekker vir so 30 minute, maar nie vir elke dag.
Ja.
Seker.
Dis krampe.
Then the last 2, obviously, we want to know, is it surfing or golf? And that's probably the easy one.
Golf 100%. Ek
Ja.
kan nie surf nie. Ek is te swaar vir surf. So
Ja.
nee, 100% golf.
Yeah. And then, I want to know, is it dinner with Cyril Ramaphosa or is it dinner with Joe Biden? Hey? Pick your
Hierso kan ek nie een van die 2 kies nie. Want ek weet nie of Joe gaan onthou dat ons eet het, jy weet.
It's going to be early night day.
En Cyril gaan vir my maak betaal vir die ete, jy weet. So.
That's a tough one, yeah. Dieter, Jesus, thank you very much for making the time. It's super awesome, just for you, especially as your first NFL player that came in here,
Yes.
our first 145 kg to came in here. Yeah.
195, right?
193, 145.
Yes.
Ja.
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much for making the time. Obviously, we know you got a couple of weeks here. You want to spend it with the family, like in Stellenbosch, play golf and all these type of things. To make time for us, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
When we're in 2031 at the Rugby World Cup that side, we'll have him on. Then we chat.
We're going to go next year
Yeah,
when
next
they
year
go
to
to
the
the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl, yeah.
Sure.
Come on, boykie.
No geduld. Okay.
No geduld. En Ruckers, I think I would like our people, if you're watching in South Africa, there's another sport, there's another avenue, guys, that you guys can make it in. Go watch. I know Sunday nights, I'm obviously a big NFL guy. 7 o'clock, I think it's 11 o'clock, there's games on ESPN channel. Go check it out. Maybe we like it. Maybe you guys like it. Maybe there's an avenue that we can be successful in as well.
Ja, 100%. En is iemand daar buite is, jy weet, wat dink om my sport te speel, kan hulle net vir my boodskap stuur, jy weet, regtig. Iemand klein seentjies van waar ook al, jy weet, as hulle geïnteresseerd is om die sport te speel. Ek dink as 'n great sport en ek dink as regtig baie Suid-Afrikaners wat goeie spelers sal kan maak, maar hulle weet dit net nie.
Okay, there we got it, Ruckers. Okay,
Yeah, there we go,
DM,
Ruckers, eh.
slide in. All right,
Yeah, here we go. And that's Dieter Eiselen.
let's go. Partner.
Ooh, that was massive. Huh? He was massive.
I was just about to say.
He was massive.
Oh my
Was he
goodness.
sitting on this chair? Because it looked like this.
Partner, at a stage I wanted to ask him, can you hold me in your hands, please?
Hey,
Yeah.
Because if you sit on top of me, you might be the same weight.
Oh my goodness.
Let's not get there.
But what a fantastic story
Yes,
about a guy
wow,
who
wow.
had a dream at 16 years old to play a sport that obviously is not popular in South Africa
Yes.
currently. And at that time it was even less popular.
Yeah.
He took a risk.
A
And
massive risk to go over by himself
live with other people, buddy.
just to make it. He had a dream. That's the important thing. Once you have a dream, protect your dream, and you can see it from that. That is determination to see. And look where you are today. Playing in the NFL, one of the biggest leagues in the world. That's amazing. A guy from Stellenbosch, from powerhouse, wanted to become a Springbok, green gold, but now he's on his way to play Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yes.
For the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. That's amazing, yeah. And I've learned a lot, Yes, as a host, learning from the guests, educate myself. I know you know a little bit more in the NFL than me. I'm just watching the movies. I'm into my movies.
And
my
I
NFL movies.
think what stood out for him, even now after we spoke to him, partner, and before we had the interview, when we just met him here today, when he said, if there's anybody out there that wants to play NFL, make contact. He's so eager to help South Africans, Ruckers. If you guys are out there and you've watched the NFL and you think this, hey, why must I give it a go? Don't hesitate to contact him.
Contact him or slide in our DMs.
Slide in our DMs
Yes.
and we will hook you up with Dieter.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yes, because we do them a favor because they subscribe us.
Yeah.
If they subscribe us, we do whatever we want to do with them.
Above and beyond.
Above and beyond. Let's
Okay.
go. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Hopefully, we'll get him on, 4 weeks off before he starts again.
But Paddy, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't want to stop you.
No.
But I just checked my watch, okay?
Okay.
And we have to get to the airport.
Hey, don't tell me it's the
we-
Six Nations because it's crunch time.
We might be late.
Hey?
So we need to get to the airport.
Yo. After last weekend, I want to be there.
Okay.
Last round the bar. Let's go. Okay. Guys, let's check in. Oh, this is our captain speaking. Paichi, are you happy then? First class. Let's get going. Let's get cracking. Heathrow. Here we go. Ooh. Partner, here we go, hey? Ooh, we made it. It's important weeks coming up, hey? It's important weeks because what happened last weekend is tough.
I'm still sweating, partner.
You're still sweating?
Still sweating from last weekend and still sweating from the flight.
This weekend.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Because it came at Twickenham was unbelievable.
Oh.
I see the Stormers is also here in Northampton. They're around here somewhere. But let's focus on the important thing.
Let me not go to the Stormers. I'm going to be...
Yes. I don't know if they're still here, but we'll get there. But yeah, fantastic games that came up. Eh? Let me go through the results.
Please,
okay,
sir,
let's get through the results. It's important. Eh? First up, it was Italy versus Scotland. So Italy 31, Scotland 29. Ooh, massive upset. Okay, that was on Saturday. And also after that, England 23, Ireland 22. I repeat, England 23, Ireland 22. Okay, and then we had our game on Sunday, which was Wales 24, France 45.
Allez, bleu. Allez, bleu.
Ooh, what a crack of a game, especially that first one. It's an upset everywhere.
Waar wil je begin?
Huh? I don't even know where to start. Eh? Looking at that first game as well, so we had Scotland coming out of the blocks. The first 20-30 minutes, they came out of the blocks. Shout out to South Africans that scored. Kyle Steyn, he scored a fantastic try. Skuman as well.
Pierre oorgeval.
Yeah. Hey, behave yourself, seatbelt. But yeah, fantastic to see how they came out of the box. But then, it looks like they're making a habit now of not turning the knife.
Finishing the games.
It happened against Wales as well. 28-27 points in front. And then Wales came back again.
Partner, maar I'm happy for Italy. Eh?
Yeah. Let's take the positives to the positives.
I didn't thought they're going to be emotionally up for the game, especially after the last result they got in France against the French team. Obviously having a draw that game. Then coming home to a sold out.
Yes, so
that was beautiful to see.
It was beautiful to see, and that was fantastic. Yeah, they had some good tries as well. Scotland scored unbelievable tries. Even like Italy as well. Italy scoring unbelievable tries, and these guys like Aoni and even the guy in debut as well, Louis Alina. Salaiti komt sterk hier. So especially in the Six Nations, it doesn't look like there's easy games anymore.
Oh, I think Six Nations are probably so happy the Italians are doing well. Especially, I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of the Italians.
Yeah,
they were obviously on borderline trying to get Georgia in and obviously swapping them out. So I think for Italian rugby, this is an amazing result at the right time.
At the right time, eh? And it doesn't look like they're gonna get the wooden spoon. Might get to the wooden spoon later on. But yeah, it's fantastic to see how they're growing their game as well. They got some good players now. There's a couple of there's one or two South Africans in there as well that's making a massive difference. So Italy's rugby is growing. I mean, world rugby is growing. All the teams are starting to filter forward now.
It's so good from an entertainment point of view because I think our sport is still it needs to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And upsets like this we had this past weekend, that's brilliant. It's brilliant, brilliant.
It's great to see. And talk about upsets. Twickenham, hey? England versus Ireland. What a game that was as well.
And especially after this whole week, I know the South Africans guys, you guys have been really upset this past week with people calling Ireland number one in the world. The best team in the world.
And England doing it as well. Right? The disrespect. Don't they know about the green and gold?
Come on. Huh? We are back to back.
Hey. Back to back.
Hey. Disrespect.
Yes, so. But yeah. Great start, eh? I must say, great start. I mean, especially when you have backs against the wall, like England, coming to this game and everyone writing them off. Even the two of us with our Lulabet predictions.
Yes.
We're writing them off. They're coming out here. They had so much to play for. I mean, Jamie Joe's the captain losing his mom as well. People are saying England, their rugby is done. They should be kicked out of the Six Nations. But the way they came out, unbelievable. Hey?
But it's so weird. They've just, and I think the World Cup was in October. It's like a few months ago. They played in the semi-final. People has got short-term memory. And now all of it, but the
And
result.
1 point against us, so which means it's an incredible Rugby World Cup for
Yeah,
them.
so which means they're a good team.
Yeah, and you could see the tries as well, especially the first try with Ole Lawrence in the corner as well. You can see the magic is there. If the hunger is there and the drive is there and they're playing for something, backs against the wall, it's just going to go in a good place.
Ole Lawrence was outstanding in that game, partner. Danny K, congratulations on 100 caps.
Yes,
that is
100 caps,
absolutely amazing.
100 caps. That's what we want to see. Not 100 golf shots, 100 caps. It's better. But yeah, Danny K, congratulations on that one.
Ruckus, that's personal.
No, it's not personal.
I'll elaborate later. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, their bomb squad coming up on the field as well. You get Marcus Smith, that last drop goal to win the game was incredible from an England point of view.
And we'll probably do his conference. I know he's still a young man. It will probably do his conference, the world of good, having that moment. I know we had advantage. Obviously had advantage.
Yeah.
But we don't care about that.
Praise,
Yes.
and opportunity.
And he still had the guts and the balls to do that.
To take the because he was under pressure as well, because he comes from an injury and his form is also important. And yeah, England is looking at making a couple of changes, finding who fits where, because they George Furbank at the back as well. So he's getting his opportunity, scoring fantastic try as well. So
what do you think on that selection quickly? Are you happy with what they're doing with Furbank and Freddie Stewart?
Personally, I'm happy. Just because he offers a little bit more.
Agree.
He gets pace around the field. It looks like Freddie is just good in the air. Een saus.
Agree.
Ons kan nie heeltyd met een saus hier. Okay?
Ek ken nie altyd bolognese, is 'n bietjie Alfredo en ander goedjies ook eet.
So they scored good tries, Ben Earl as well.
I wanted to bring up his name. He's playing, I think he's in the best form of his life. I've seen him, obviously, watching. He's playing fantastic.
Yeah.
He looks hungry. He looks obviously confident.
He's not like your pure Spies or your, doing for me.
But relentless.
But yeah, he's
knap.
He's knap. Stokkie. Knap en stokkie.
Vispop.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, that just opened up the world of the Six Nations is open up. Die hekkie is waarheid oop now, because Ireland missed an opportunity. They played good rugby. James Lowe, the 2 tries James Lowe scored in the first half and the second half was unbelievable.
Partner, quick question. I know technical side is your expertise. The fact that Felix Jones is coaching England defense, right? And the Irish, as over the years, they've struggled against people who are just a bit too close in their face. Do you think that played a role in the game?
I don't think really.
I don't think
really.
so.
I think the tries they scored is the drive they showed us throughout the whole of Six Nations. I just think that England was hungry.
Okay.
50,000 or 80,000 people at Twickenham, people writing them off. They've got opportunity. Obviously, they lost the game that they were on their track to win on the Grand Slam run. And and everyone's talking about the number 1 team. Yeah, hulle wakker skrik.
Nee, number 1 nie.
Ja, he's net your number 1.
Yeah.
As green and goedjies.
Don't upset us,
okay? Springbok in huis. But yeah, everyone talking about that. So that's also always important. When you have backs against the wall and listen here, we're playing for one purpose, and that is maybe for Jamie George, the captain, or one purpose. Listen here, we're going to show these people, okay, we can do this. We deserve to be in the Six Nations. Those type of things makes a world of a difference.
Does this result make England a good team in the Six Nations?
They got a lot to learn. So if they can bring that passion and hunger every game, they might be in it. But for now, I think it's important for them to find the 23, stick with the 23 for 2 or 3 years, and get yourself ready for the 2027 Rugby World Cup.
Okay.
So a lot to learn, yeah. And then obviously moving on to that last game, Wales, France. France looking good.
I look. There's one thing about the Frenchies that I really know is they will be up for it, especially after a loss. They had, or not a loss. They obviously drew against Italy, which they were probably not happy with, especially in France. And the French team hasn't been firing on all cylinders, which is quite understanding. They're missing Dupont. They may be having a bit
Talking about Dupont, yeah. Because I was raving about Dupont. And now, obviously, what is that guy's name?
Nolan Lagarek.
Lagarek. Wow.
Did Paige not tell you?
Yes, now I know.
There's something there, boy.
There's something there. And he's also a youngster as well.
Extremely
obviously,
young.
When Dupont comes back, he picks himself. They pick Dupont first and then they pick the team. But the way he fits into that, is the same but different.
very similar. I think he's got a skill set, partner, honestly, from a 9.
Yeah.
He's got brilliance all over him.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was surprised. Let's call it surprise.
I think you were surprised because he's still so young. He's obviously
21 years old.
making his breakthrough in senior rugby. Obviously, he starts for Racing 92, Siya Kolisi's team.
Yeah.
He's exceptional. He's honestly got all the characteristics of a quality, a long-term quality 9 on the big stage. He can kick, he can pass. He's got a bit of a bit of something about it.
Razzle dazzle. Teach me how to daggy goedjes.
Macarena.
Okay. So he's got the moves, but the future for France looks absolutely fantastic. If you look at Dupont, youngster. Ntemak, youngster. Now Lagarek, youngster. Jellybe, youngster. Louis Belliberry, also youngster with the headgear. So for the future, they're looking very good. So France, they obviously had the hiccups. They had the opportunities to maybe win the Six Nations.
I think, and let's be realistic, I think they obviously had so much expectation and ambition in the World Cup, and they probably chucked all their baskets into that World Cup at home, which for me is they had a Six Nations where they haven't been at their best, they haven't looked at their best, but it's a lot of rugby for those guys, their partner.
Yeah.
They play top 14, they play Investic Champions Cup, they play the World Cup, and now straight into a Six Nations. So let's cut them a bit of slack, especially the French team. I think they're still a good rugby nation. They're obviously a brilliant rugby nation. They'll be back. They'll be fine.
100%, they will be back,
They'll be fine.
And unfortunately for Wales, as wooden spoon quickies. But maybe just we just blow over that, okay? But Paige, I just want to get to the lock because it's the last game. It's obviously the last game, so it's crunch time now. Anyone can take it. Obviously, with the win from Italy, the win from England opens up the gate. Okay. Yeah, let me quickly go through the standings and the lock, and then we see where we stand. So we've got Ireland on top with 16 points.
Okay.
Ireland on top with 16 points. We've got England second place with 12 points. Scotland and France obviously on 11, and Italy obviously 7, and Wales obviously last. But looking at, I think, the top 4, Ireland, England, Scotland, France, they all got an opportunity to win this, actually.
Okay.
And if you look at the games coming up, let's go to the fixtures.
Yes.
Okay. So if you look at the fixtures for Saturday, all 3 games is going to be on Saturday. So the first one is going to be, they started off slowly. They give us a Wales versus Italy. Let's see what 5 and 6 does. Okay. So Wales versus Italy, it's on Saturday. 16:15, okay, 4:15, and then straight after, now it gets interesting. So it's Ireland versus Scotland, okay, at 6:45, 16:45, and then straight after, 10 o'clock, late games, die tweekie slaap zeker, will be France versus England. Ooh, massive games, okay. The first one is like a dead rubber, trying to...
I think there's a lot on the line for Italy.
Lot on the line for Italy.
Yeah, I think if the Italians can pull this one through, it will give them
credibility.
Chest
out, yes.
Je kunt 'n bietjie nie dans en loop en sê, ek is hier.
Ek is hier, is mensie, so yeah.
So I think the Italians has got a lot on the line in that game.
Yes, and then after that is obviously Ireland versus Scotland. Okay, Ireland on 16, Scotland on 11. So they need to beat them with a bonus point, and Scotland with a bonus point, and try get them to nothing. I don't even think that's enough.
Partner, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Okay, Paddy? Since the World Cup, when I was so big on the Scotties, and I thought they're going to have a major upset, ek is uit hulle bootjie uit.
Uit die bootjie?
Ek het geskuif.
Okay.
Ek is uit. Sorry, guys. So
you hope, no hope. The Safas, they need you, support.
No, I think they're obviously playing attractive rugby, beautiful rugby. But like you say, hulle het itchy, man.
Yes. They take off with the plane and then they cruise control.
Ja, dan sit hulle engines af.
Ja, dan float hulle. Yeah.
Je
kan nie, ja.
So ek is uit daar.
But Paige, just looking at the lock, I actually think with the point difference, it's only Ireland and England in the run. Because you got Ireland at 16 and England on 12. So if England beat France with a bonus point, that brings them to 17, and Ireland must get nothing. Scotland must give them nothing.
Partner, quickly, that game against France is in France, eh?
Yeah, 10 o'clock. I said 10 o'clock.
Yes, that's an interesting weekend, Rackers, okay?
Yeah. But the tails are up.
Both teams' tails are up, probably.
It's going to be a crack of a game. Yeah. Let's quickly, while we're there, let's go to our Lulabet predictions.
Lulabet predictions, okay, monsieur.
Okay, let's go to start with that first game, Wales versus Italy.
Italians, don't do me dirty.
Okay.
Please, Italians, don't do this to me. I'm going to rock with you. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to get into your car.
It is in Wales.
Wow.
Principality Stadium. I
I'm
just want to
gonna-
give you...
Last year, the Italians beat them in Wales with Capuzzo scoring that last try. Italians, I'm going to get in your boat. I'm a believer.
Me too.
I'm a believer.
Behind the Ruck is behind you. Talk to me points and I'll give my points.
Okay, I'm going to go 3 points to
3
Italy.
points.
3, close.
It's going to be a close game, eh?
Yes.
It depends if all the big boys are playing George North and all these boys. It's going to be... Yeah, it's going to be a close one. It's going to be +5.
+5. Yeah, I'm going +3 for Italy.
Yeah, +3, +5
Okay.
is not too bad. And then, now the cracker starts. It's Ireland versus Scotland.
Ireland versus Scotland. Ireland is going to come back and put in a great performance.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Ireland
At
by
home,
10.
In Dublin.
Ireland
at
by
home.
10. I think they a really good rugby
Yeah.
team. They're not the best in the world. That's not good. But a really good rugby team. Second best in the world.
Yeah, let them know.
So Ireland's going to come back strong. 10 points.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just because backs against the wall.
Yeah, hulle is hurt.
Yeah, they lost the opportunity of a Grand Slam, but they won the Six Nations. And I think, obviously, Scotland is still like, where are they? So I agree with you. How many points for Ireland?
+10.
+10.
+10, yeah. I'm going to go 30-20. I think it'll be a high-scoring game.
+5, I think, yeah.
+5.
+10
Island.
and +5. Ireland,
Dat
yeah.
stem ons so samen. Okay, gaat maar aan.
Is het eerste op dieselfde spanne,
Yes,
yeah?
sim.
And then the last game in France, 10 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock
we're
at
sleeping, waking up on Sunday morning, trying to get the results.
The
France versus
result when
England.
you wake up on Sunday morning will be France won that game.
I'm in the same boat. Hey, stop it, man.
Yeah,
Connection.
I think obviously the English they had a
They buzzed, they were
fantastic,
up high. And then
but it's tough to get from that emotional connection
to stay there.
to stay there for another week.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand? So I'm gonna go with the French team. I'll go by 8. France by 8.
I think they're going to
12.
play him off the park with...
Really?
Yeah, with 15-ish, 12-ish, 15-ish.
Okay, 15.
Yeah, let's go 15.
I
yeah.
like it, I like it.
15 is the
not a
number.
bad call.
And hopefully next week we'll be right. Because last weekend, come on. Okay,
Yes.
we need to get our stuff together again.
Ruckus, and obviously that is our predictions.
Yeah,
me and my
Lulabet
part.
predictions.
Lulabet predictions. Make sure you go do your picks on the Lulabet website. And obviously, let's see, maybe we've helped you, maybe not. But
Well,
go check out the website and make your picks.
yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic episode. And obviously, Behind the Ruck is powered by Kruger International Wealth and Asset Management. And also our one and only
Exclusive betting partner.
Official betting partner.
Hey.
Lulabet. Lulabet. Fantastic, eh? Yeah, partner, and we got couple of things coming up. We got competitions running, especially with them as well.
Yeah, Lulabet competitions, guys. Go check out on our social platforms, on their social platforms. There will be signboards by Sia Kulisi. We'll make sure
yeah.
that... Yeah.
Okay.
Goeie goedjes, lekker goedjes.
Fly the balls over. Okay, yeah.
So please go check out our social media platforms every week and stand chance to win fantastic prizes, okay? We are growing as a show and we want to make sure that you guys grow with us and enjoy the success.
Yeah.
Huh?
100%. Yes.
Barney?
Yeah, fantastic episode, partner. I'm looking forward to the Six Nations coming up. I was so excited to speak to Dieter. And I'm also going to watch the NFL now. And
Please, Boykie.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
He promised us, Dieter, he promised us Super Bowl tickets.
Yes, we sorted, yeah.
I'm going to tell wifey after this today that I'm going to the Super Bowl next
He's
year.
a center, I'm a center.
Weet.
I'm a big OBJ fan.
Ah.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay.
Because of the number 13.
Yes.
Okay, yes. I dyed my hair there as well. My hairstyle, all is aligned. But yeah, we'll get to it.
And that partner, Ruckus always, okay? That's very important to us. Please make sure that we like, share, and subscribe. Behind the Ruck. Make sure that there's still people out there that don't know about us. Make sure it is in your prerogative. I don't even know if I use that word in the right sentence, but I'm going to go with it because I could feel it.
Yeah. Just keep going on.
Share the thing, guys. Make sure you tell your colleagues about it. Let's grow.
Let's grow, yeah, and we grow together. So obviously,
groeisout op 'n gras.
100%, yeah. Get into our comment sections, guys. Make sure if there's something you laughed about, let us know.
Yes.
If there's something you feel different about, let us know. If there's someone that we should get here and inform you, let us know.
Come on.
Yeah. Life's short. Come on. Let us know.
Come on. Sort life.
So yeah, fantastic episode, Paige. Yeah, episode 35 and we're growing. 200 fair. Okay, but we'll get there. Yeah, Ruckus. Hey, I'm Juan de Jong.
I'm Rudy Pates.
And the Ruck is clear.